already got our first issue. I'm working on the microphone. Hey Steve, I told you guys this was a test. I knew this might be a disaster. I'm working on trying to figure out the microphone and all that, so hopefully we'll get there. We're going to be prepping a pen blank today, this afternoon. Let's see. There it is. I think I'm also streaming in the wrong orientation. Do I need to rotate my phone? Okay, I'm in portrait, so I really should be in landscape, right? Is that what I'm hearing? Can I switch that? Is it possible to switch the... All right. So here's what we're going to be prepping today. I'm going to turn an executive twist pen kit on Tuesday's live stream. Hopefully I'll have some bugs worked out by then. We're going to take our tube and all right, so I'm going to prep this pen blank. I'm going to go ahead and mark it right about here. And then we're going to head over to the bandsaw to cut this down to size. What does the audio sound like? Does the audio sound like it's a microphone, or does it sound like it's just from the device? Audio is clear. That's good to know. All right, so I'm going to move us over to the bandsaw to cut this out, or cut this down, not out. On the live stream on Tuesday, I won't be moving as much. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing cut down. sweet gum pod blank that we're going to prep because I'm actually going to be part of a virtual pen turners gathering May 17th. That's Sunday, or that is a Sunday. I think 2 weeks from now. I'll be demoing hybrid pen blank casting. So I will be demoing either pine cones or sweet gum pods. We're just going to put our blank in the chuck. Need to get a 3/8 inch drill bit. That's the size this pen calls for. So we have 3/8. Okay, so right now I do have a lav mic on. So tools are very loud when you cut. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. So if right now I'm moving away from the camera, so I'm just making sure that this audio is still okay. I wasn't sure on my tests earlier, but if this was all clear, then it's good to know that the lav mic is working. Okay, cool. So we'll go ahead and put this 3/8 bit in. Now when I go to drill a pen blank out, I like to run about 400-ish RPMs, give or take. I'm going to try and move this over here. This is just a test. I know this is super rough. Here we go. All right. I'm going to check to make sure that we're going to be running slow enough. Forward. I've tried to use the lathe in reverse before and cut without realizing that it was in reverse. Guess how well that went. All right, let's see where our speed's at. Right now we're about 345. Let's go up to about 390-ish, 385, something like that. All right, so I'm going to drill this out, and I'm just going to go all the way through. I back out a little bit each time just to clear the shavings, try to keep the bit cool. Use an old toothbrush that doesn't actually get used as a toothbrush anymore, just to clear the shavings out. We're just going to take our time, nice and slow. No use in rushing. Again, I'm going to be preparing this pen as an example. It'll be used in the Pen Turners virtual gathering. So if you go to facebook.com/virtual gathering, you can check that out over there. That's on Facebook, and that's May 17th. It's a Sunday. I believe demos will start about noon or maybe slightly after that, and then they go till, I don't know, 5 or 6 or something like that. I will be demonstrating hybrid casting. I know a number of other people will be demonstrating, Fred Wisson, Jason Rose, Bob Marquis, I believe Braxton Frankenberry. I'm sure I'm missing others, but they're on they're on there. If, again, facebook.com/virtual gathering. This pen body's a little longer than I anticipated. This is taking a little bit to drill, but everything's going fine. The nice thing about drilling on the lathe is that I can just put my blank in, I can set my Jacob's chuck up, I can insert the bit, and then just go. There's no measuring, no making sure you're square. It's just nice and square from the start. So that makes it really nice. We're getting close. Sometimes it just takes a minute. I think we're through. All right, let's check. Sure enough. All right. Let's check out the comments. Okay, turning face away from the mic. Yeah, that's something I can definitely work on. I just got this Rode wireless mic not more than a couple days ago, so I am still getting used to it, but I think this is going to be a good upgrade. So now that we have our blank drilled out, now at this point it is a little bit warm, and you can actually see we're all the way through there. It is a little bit warm, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it back to our assembly. It's my table saw. I'm going to take it back to the table saw. I'm going to let it cool down for a bit, and then we will epoxy the pen tube into the blank, and that's really all there is in terms of preparation. All right, so I'm going to set this here just to cool down for a bit. Pretty lazy Sunday so far. I finished a bolt action pen this morning. I also finished up another video, released a shop update this morning. So things have been busy, but it's good. Here's our tube that we're going to insert into the blank. It's a 3/8 inch diameter. When I use a hybrid blank, so if it's anything other than wood, I like to use epoxy to glue in the tube. This epoxy is running a little bit low, so I like to put it on its, put it upside down for a little bit just to get it to come out a bit easier. CA glue is an option. I use medium CA when it's just a wood blank. Still a little warm. The nice thing, when we go to do the live stream on Tuesday, I'll work out the kinks now, and the only tool that'll be running is the lathe. I don't know how extreme that was when how the sound was during that time. Yeah, we're probably okay. It's not entirely necessary, but sometimes I like to just put a little bit of parchment paper down just so it doesn't stick, so the blank doesn't stick, or the glue doesn't stick to whatever I have it on, so like this scrap piece of wood or whatever. Don't need a ton of epoxy because I'm just gluing up one blank. It's nice when you can batch out some preparations, so if you're doing more pens, just like anything else, if you have a system to batch it out, it makes it easier. So like you do all your blank cutting, then you can do all your drilling, and then you can do all the gluing. When you do all those things at one time, it just makes it a little bit easier, makes it go a little faster. This is just some 5-minute epoxy I got from Classic Nib. Classic Nib is one of the places that I frequently buy pen kits from, so they've got good stuff over there. It's where I get a lot of my juniors. I get some tubes, Zens, just some stuff like that. All right, so I'm going to spread this glue just along this tube. I didn't scratch this tube up because this is a PSI kit that that I actually got from Turner's Warehouse, but this tube actually came pre-scuffed, so I didn't have to do that step. It was already done for me. Now, this is going to probably be too much epoxy, but we can work through that. I'm just twisting this to make sure the epoxy goes everywhere so that there's good coverage, and I'm going to take the insertion tool and just make sure that it's just below the surface. I'm good there. I'm going to scrape some epoxy off the end here just to make sure it doesn't get in the tube. And we can see we're flush or just underneath the tube, underneath the blank there, and then same on the other end. So when that when this epoxy dries, I can trim these up, get it flush with the tube, trim this blank up, get it flush with the tube, and then it'll be ready for turning. So that's what we will turn on our Tuesday live stream this Tuesday. I'm also still trying to figure out. Wasn't bad while drilling. Cutting could be louder. Keep the epoxy. Sorry, the chat keeps disappearing. Yeah, Steve, that's on my list, is a glue caddy to have them sit upside down like that. One of them, we're working with we're working right now to possibly build a 2-car garage. So I'm a glue caddy wouldn't be bad, but there are some other projects that I want to do, but not until I know where my long-term shop is going to be, because right now I'm in half of a basement and I don't want to build something huge shop furniture wise and then find out that I have to move it, because I've built things down here and had to move them out of the basement because they weren't shop projects. And I've learned that some of the projects didn't come out. They don't come out of the basement without disassembling them because it's too big and they don't fit through the door. I just like turning pens. It's therapy for me. Some people love it, some people hate it. Just depends on who you talk to. The one thing I've learned with pens is it makes me look at every scrap of wood differently. If it's the tiniest scrap, I think, oh, I could, turn a pen out of that instead of, throwing it in the fire pit or just, getting rid of it. So my wood pile has gone from manageable to I've got stuff everywhere. It's crazy. I'll even, rip stuff down on the table saw just to have it. Yeah. So that's where we're at right now. So hopefully I'll orient this right on Tuesday, and we'll go from there. So if anybody has anything, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Otherwise, I think we will probably end this live stream test. Well, thanks, Steve, for checking volumes and seeing how it goes. I appreciate that. Thank you to anybody else who tuned in just to see this. Use the rear-facing camera to get landscape. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. But I'll see what I can figure out. I think that's the biggest issue so far, and that's why I'm doing this live stream now, to make sure that I get it right by Tuesday. So yeah. If you guys were here at all to hang out with us, or even if you're watching this after the fact, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you guys checking out the video, checking out the channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I've got some stuff in the works, and if this 2-car garage thing happens, we could get quite a bit of content out of that. So be sure to subscribe, and I think we'll call it there. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next time.